Hi there. Welcome to my instructional video on river play. My name is Mike Gano, and today I'll be teaching you techniques that will help you make the most profitable decisions you can on the river. Or in other words, maximize your expected value. We start with a range pre-flop and narrow that range as we go based on his actions, typical hand reading. Again, our goal is to choose the highest EV option. So we'll be doing that as specifically as we can by working with EV equations. For these EV calculations, we'll need some variables, and I'm going to go through those with you now. B equals bet size, P equals pot size. So when he folds, we win the pot. When he doesn't fold, we lose our bet. That's what this is saying, and this is how you calculate the value of that decision. Just to put this in perspective again, I'm showing you equations for all the different decisions we could make, all the different choices we have available to us. So then the process is, you'll see, if we're trying to make our most profitable decision, is we work out the numbers for each of our options and then choose the one with the highest value. It's as simple as that. Now I'm bumping up the number of folds, and that shouldn't matter, as we saw before. And if we plug in all the numbers, we're beating more hands in his calling range than losing. And if we calculate the EV of a jam here, we find it to be 102. The EV of a checkback is 90. And what's interesting about doing these EV calculations is you can actually estimate the difference between the two options. You could call this the mistake, right? I'm just hitting Control-C for copy, Control-V for paste, and we can click over here, and automatically it runs those two ranges against each other. I haven't put the flop in, so just range versus range. The small blind, if you move the mouse over here, it kind of shows you a visual of it, is doing 52% versus a 48%. So that gives you an idea that even though, I find this personally quite interesting, even though this range is, or the bottom range is twice as wide and missing the top, it still is only 48%. This is surprising to me in a sense that you can have a range that's twice as wide, missing the top, and still, it's only a 48% dog if when you compare these two ranges equity-wise. Now, if we put in the flop, sometimes the queen-jack and the queen-10 are better defends than the king-queen because they're all worth approximately the same if our opponent's really polarized. So you do want to think about the blocker effect, and you can start practicing that little technique now. Even if you don't have a GTO range, you can think about, well, if I have to choose between some hands so I'm not just over defending, then I'm going to pick the ones that block his strong hands. So in this case, 8-7 would be better than 10-8 or 9-8. So we could defend everything but 9-8 and potentially 10-8 here to establish the right frequency. Out of position EV analysis, that's what we're doing with this spreadsheet. Some assumptions. EV of fold is equal to 0, as we've stated before. He doesn't raise. Villain is not raising. We'll talk about that after the spreadsheet. We'll look at raise cases. Your bet size and his bet size in terms of pot. So the first equation, EV of a bet.